Hello, everyone. Hello, welcome. Let's see. I am going to check and let's make sure that you can see me, you can hear me, because we have a lot. This is going to be a great episode. So let me log in here. Let's see. Let's make sure we're all working. If you're watching, if we have anyone on live, I can't even see any of that right now. Let me know. Comment. Actually, I'm going to log in this way. We are still getting the technicalities worked out. I'm actually going to open you guys up a tab here on my computer too, so that I can see questions or comments that come in about today. There we go. Okay, great. Wonderful. Okay, so let's see here. Let me get my correct spot that I want to look at this at. Maybe I'll do here. Okay, welcome. I'm so glad y'all are here. Thank you for showing. Thank you for being here, watching. Thank you for being in the group. I'm very excited, like I said last week, about this group. It's going to be great. I hope that if you're new to the group, welcome. Welcome. We have a lot of new people, a lot of new faces. So feel free to always send me a message, say hi, put a comment here, or just post in the group, whatever you'd like. But if you have not had a chance to watch last week's episode, I would love for you to do that whenever you get a chance to. I think it'll be really, really helpful for you, because last week's episode was kind of setting the tone and setting the foundations for everything, and really kind of bringing you in and setting up the lens that we look through inside of BZH for long-term, lifelong health, kind of a term that I feel like I've coined in with our clients and just inside of everything that we do in our world is becoming lifestyle lean. And so we went over that and we really chatted about that. And so it's really important that if you're new here and you have no idea what I'm talking about, that you go listen to that. And I actually have a great post coming out today on Instagram. It'll come through on Facebook as well. That's really kind of showing and explaining what that really kind of looks like to me and what that means. So I want you to make sure you're really clear on that, because if it's not something that you're agreeing with, interested in, okay, but if so, then I want you to get on board with me, because we have work to do. All of us, I have work to do. You have work to do. So here we go. I actually want to start off. We have just a few announcements that I want to make. Let me see. I'm going to come back over this way. No, I'm not seeing comments anywhere. All right, guys, let me see if we see this. All right. See about that. So a few announcements. If you have seen it this week, we've created, and we will be continuing to create guides within the group. And this will be places, we're just going to kind of organize everything this way so that things should be easy for you to find. You'll see our Thursday trainings in a spot here for our weekly show. You will see different information about different programs that we have, different, maybe promos we're running, what we're talking about. You will see master classes and stuff like that. So if you ever can't find anything, just reach out to us, reach out to the team, and let us know. Feel free to always send a message, and then we can get you worked out and figured out whatever resource, whatever you need. That way. So Team BZH, let's see, they should be on here. Katie should be here. So if you need anything, absolutely always message me or Katie, which is inside of Team BZH. Or Brittany Zmalik Health, which is in here. Think of it as kind of like your concierge for anything that you need, any way that we can always help you out. We're more than happy to. And then next would be, I love the shares that I'm seeing and the tags and different things like that. It's fantastic. So that is just, I explained last week, that is kind of my love language. I absolutely love it. It helps so much for me. We have so many clients that come to us from referrals from current clients, past clients, and that word of mouth is just everything for me. I really believe in creating just organic, deep relationships. I want to get to know you guys. So, which is why I always encourage y'all to message me if I can help you in any way. And then, why we're doing this show here is to help you to learn, to see, to decide if maybe possibly you would, you want to jump in, you agree with what we're doing, and you want to come in and work with us in any capacity. So feel free to do a little boomerang, screenshot, whatever you want to do, share, tag me. We probably will start doing a few giveaways and different fun things like that for girls that do decide that they want to share, which is super, super wonderful. And then feel free to invite friends as well to join in on this group. But here's something I want to say about that is like I said, this is going to be kind of like our baby. This is kind of home base for us. And so I spend quite a bit of time prepping for these weekly calls, which will at some point be turned into a podcast for those of you that want to listen on the go and different things like that. We're going to be uploading them to YouTube as well for those of you that want to watch in that kind of a way. But I spend a lot of my week here. And I want to make sure that you guys that are here are like my people. I consider y'all my people. So if you are inviting anyone, just make sure that you do feel like they would be someone that would really benefit from what it is that we do in here and what I'm teaching, and that they're really interested in these kinds of things. You guys are not freebie seekers, and I want to keep it that way. Did you guys know that out of like all of the people that will probably watch this, out of all of the people that probably watched last week, there might be 1% to 2% that actually implemented. And I want to keep those 1%ers. I want to keep this group, the action takers, not the people that are just looking for freebies, right? Like people that Google all day or people that go on YouTube to look at the free workouts. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but I think I mentioned this yesterday, is like, there's a big difference in someone that like wants to take action and wants to apply it and actually says, just give me what to do, instead of somebody that just like searches all day. Massive difference in that mindset. And so just keep that in mind. I know you guys are not that. That's not y'all. And so I want to keep it that way. And I also want to make sure that you are applying the things that I am coming on and teaching you every week in our Thursday trainings. I show up to these, I prep for these, I prepare for these, I do all of the work for these, just like you've already hired me, just like you're my client. And so this is stuff like my clients show up here. They're probably watching live. I can't quite see who's watching live, but they're in this group. They show up to every single free masterclass that I do. They want every single free piece of content. And, we've got a bowl meal guide that we talked about on Instagram yesterday. I'll chat about that today a little bit. I'm actually going to show you what that looks like. That if you want it, you can absolutely have it. And so many of them are always like, hey, yes, can I have that? Hey, can I have that? And I'm like, girl, you already got it. You're in, you got it. And so like, I'm just saying that to say, I show up here, like I said, like you have already hired me, and I show up big. And so I want you to take what we're doing and I want you to actually use it, because it's stuff that will change things for you. So start implementing, be the 1%. Let's do it. Okay. There's that. Next thing is going to be, we do have a new challenge that we are starting. We'll be starting this on April 2nd. I believe, team, you can kind of check if those dates are right, 2nd or 3rd. It's going to be that first Monday of April. That actually might be the 3rd. So we are going to be doing a new challenge. We did just put and made guides for the different types of programs that we have. And there's different specifics. There are different programs for different people for different reasons. And so if you have questions about that, you can totally message us. We are actually in the early bird pricing phase right now for the challenge, which means the price will go up. But we have a limited number of people that can get this early bird. And so if we're not advertising for this on Instagram or anything, or Facebook in general yet. So it comes to the inner circle first. So if you want details on that, let me know. It's going to be a 4-week challenge. It's going to be fun, really fun. So there's that. And then I did mention the bowl meal resource. So I'll share this and then let me know if you want it. Just leave a comment here, send us a message, and then we can get that and make sure that you have it for today. Okay. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, okay. There we go. There we are. April 3rd. Okay, there we go. Now I'm seeing comments. Okay, yay. Cool. Okay, let's dig into it. All right. Here is the juice. Here's the meat of this, the juicy details. And you're probably going to, you may want to, like, if you're taking notes now, great. You might want to watch this a second time and totally can. So I made a post on Instagram one day last week, I believe, and it was talking about 10 things that are unnecessary for fat loss. And we're going to go into those things. So we're splitting this up. There's going to be a part 1, which is today. Part 2 is going to be next week. So I think that it's very important that we are educated, that we know what we need to do. There's a lot of BS out there. There's a lot of information out there, and there's a lot of stuff that is the get results quick and things that will make you lose weight and like this, but they will really impact your metabolism and they will really, really mess you up on down the road. So we just need to be aware of those things. I just feel like I just want you to be successful, and I want you to be successful a year from now and 3 years from now and 5 years from now. And so being aware of these things and being aware how things that you decide to do today and this spring, you're going to be investing in you losing weight. You're going to be investing in you getting ready, shedding, shredding, getting ready for summer, the swimsuit, the vacations. Like, it's spring. We're 3 months like away from summer, which is not very long. It's not a very long time. One of our programs is 12 weeks long, which is 3 months. And so that time, most often, people come, and so when someone joins our one-on-one, they always come and they're like, oh my gosh, like that actually went by really fast. I'm like, yes, because it might sound like a long time, but then when you actually live it and you go through it, it goes by really quickly. So the 3 months will come like this. So if you are not already in your plan in the process of what you're going to do to get in shape, to shed, shred, lose the weight, you have to start now. I don't care what you use. I don't care who you invest in. I don't care. I just want you to know you have to do it. And I want you to do it in a way that's going to be healthy. That is going to help you in the long term. I do care about that. And I just care that you take the information today and you do the work for it and you make yourself better. Okay. So 3 months until summer. And we need to get at it. We need to start our burn phase. BZH girls, you know what I'm talking about. Those 3 phases, it's the burn phase. Unless, of course, you've got your own blah, 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 like we're on you with your phases and your timing. But like I had our interview with Beatrice earlier this week, and we were talking all about that. And she's going to start her 3 phases over because she was a VIP client. She went through all of them. She knows what she's like, going back and starting. It's the perfect time for that. If you've never done a burn phase, you're like, what is that? You just send me a message. That is us losing our weight. It's the way that we do it. So we need to get on that. So, okay. I am going to, I want you to kind of get your brain, get your mind, like where I'm at right now. I'm going to take you on a little story. And this is going to help you to see why you need to start prioritizing your fat loss right now and doing it the right way. So, okay. Katie is, she is like my right-hand girl. She is just all of the things. She does so much for BZH, but she's also like my best friend forever. So, she and I went, I don't know when this was like a bit ago, but we were like, all right, I was like, hey, I got to get an outfit. You want to come with me? Like, she was like, of course. Yes, sure. So we're like on our way, we're driving, and like girls do, we just get to chatting and we just got to talking. And I admittedly was the driver here. So, we are driving and we are going to the mall. We're going to go to like this mall that's not too terribly far away. And we just get to talking and whatnot. We're not really paying attention. And then we kind of look up and we're like, wait. And she's like, oh, I think we were supposed to exit like a little ways back, like a long ways back. And I was like, what? I'm terrible with directions. That is not my forte. She is good with directions. So like it was on her to like tell me where to go and what to do. And she completely failed at that. And I completely failed to ask, hey, what do I need to do? Or to take the reins because I was driving the car. It's not really her fault. Anyways, long story short, we're like, oh my gosh, she looks it up. We're way past our exit of where we needed to go. And like we were like time was ticking. And I was like, oh my gosh, like it was so annoying, right? Because we'd wasted this time going all the way down the highway when we didn't need to be there. We did not need to go to where we were going. Were we having fun on our way doing it? Yeah. I mean, we were like, it was fine because it was girl time and like we were having fun, but the time, obviously the time passes either way. So we were doing that and we ended up having to, of course, reroute, turn around, and it took a lot longer than we had originally anticipated. We ended up getting to the mall, the area we were going, late, and the mall was still open, but the stores inside, most of them were closed. So we were just like, what the heck? Like walking around like, oh my gosh. And we ended that trip. We still had fun, of course, because once again, time's going to pass either way, whether you're actually spending the time doing the right things or spending the time doing the wrong things, time passes either way. And the stores closed and it wasn't that big of a deal, but I had a deadline for what I was getting this outfit for. I had something later that weekend. So what did I have to do? I had to go and I had to find time on my own, in addition to this time that I just killed, to go and shop and do this. And now I ended up getting the outfit and whatnot. I don't know how it ended up or what it was for, but like, it wasn't the way that I had pictured it. And I got the outfit, but it wasn't as great whenever I finally did find the time to go get the outfit. It wasn't fun. Obviously, it was kind of one of those rushed things. I had to move my schedule around. I had to adjust. I had to be like, okay, Christopher, I got to go do this. I'm sorry. Like I totally screwed this up. All of that. Okay. So this is kind of what it's like for us when we set out to lose 15 pounds and we do it the wrong way. We think that what we're doing, we have the greatest intentions. We think what we're doing is right. We're not trying to wreck ourselves and wreck our metabolism for the future to where it's going to take a whole year to get it back on track where it needs to be, right? We're not trying to mess our hormones up. We're not trying to waste time because we get the shiny object syndrome from scrolling and seeing what our friends are doing or what the new latest and greatest all of a sudden health coach is doing. You know what I'm talking about? They decided because they saw a friend lose weight rapidly like this, and they were doing their greens and they were doing their packaged bars and they were doing all these things and a program. And then they decided to do it and then they lost the weight and then they could suddenly become a coach and tell other people how their health should how to lose this weight when they have no idea how to do it. They ain't got a clue, right? We get this shiny object syndrome and we don't even think about the way that we actually start out to lose weight. So the way you start out to lose weight and your destination matters. It impacts so much. Like I said, the way that we go about it matters, but we're 12 weeks away from summer. And so the time for us to actually start, the time that Katie and I set out to drive down the highway and go get the outfit was now. So we need to be aware of the way that we are doing things. And that's what I'm going to go into today. That's what we're going to start on. So does that make sense? Does my little example make sense to us? And if you are here and you are watching live, will you please let me know, give me something, tell me who's here so that I can see who we have. Have you had an experience like that? Have you ever felt like you've set out to lose this weight and maybe you did, maybe you didn't, but maybe you get time for summer and or your vacations and you're like, well, crap, that ain't what I wanted it to be, right? I've been working this last however long and I don't really see anything that's gone on and happened. Have you experienced anything like that? Hey, Kayla. Wonderful. So glad you're here. So, I exited off of our thing. So we want to be aware of that and be aware of that. It's really, really important. And I hope that that kind of can help us to like think of what it is that we're doing. So 12 weeks away. And that's not like, so now what I want you to think about is adding in the holidays that are from between now and then about June, maybe the middle of June. There's a lot of holidays that actually are in between all of that. So we've got Easter, we've got Cinco de Mayo, Mother's Day, we have Memorial Day, we have Father's Day, we have Labor Day. Like that's a lot that's going on in between that time. So think about it. Think about if you don't get started on this now, how all of those little holidays will come. And then do you see how you'll never feel like you're like actually like going somewhere and like actually making, or I guess it could be like this, make with the scale, like making the progress you want to see. Because if you kind of start out and you're doing something, you're seeing a little bit of progress, but you don't learn how to actually like strategize for these holidays, experience the weekends, do all of these things, and it might make you kind of do a bad hiccup. And then most of the time, what happens is by the time you feel like you're getting regular again and you're back into the groove, another holiday comes, if that makes sense. So it's just so good to get started earlier so that you can have the experience, so that you can get the strategies under your belt, the knowledge under your belt, and get some of that progress and the momentum going before then. So if you don't have a clue how to navigate holidays and things like that and out of town and, you know, whatever else you have, then it's just going to be like you missed your exit and you're just driving and you're wasting time. Because these holidays, these girl days, you know, we're going to go this Saturday and we've got a fun we're going to go to a winery and we have like we're going to have so much fun. But like, if I never learned how to navigate these things, and make them mesh with everything that I do, my lifestyle, going back to being lifestyle lean, then those things would keep me going round and round and round, and it would never let me actually feel like I am making progress and I'm coasting and I'm living in that lifestyle lean world. And that's what we need to get to. Okay. So we spend a lot of time going over these things, strategizing, especially in our one-on-one in Reset. We spend the time teaching the strategies and the different things and the ways to think and actually implement what it is that we are showing and teaching you so that you can practice while you're with us and then get that under your belt, like I've been talking about, so that when you're finished with that program, whatever, you know, if you decide to, whatever one you work with us with, then you have those skills and you know what to do. That's when you become that lifestyle lean. So BZH girls, you know all about this, but I love teaching how to do this because, like I said, it's very different if you Google everything, if you YouTube, if you piece it all together. It's so different than actually experiencing it and learning these things and actually implementing them as you go and as you see the progress happen. So let's get into part one today. So there we are. We've set the stage for this. We know we don't have very long. We need to learn these things. We've also got all the holidays in between all of this. We've also got all the weekends. We just have life. Like it's just life, right? We don't want to say, okay, we can't participate in things. We don't want to say, oh, okay, I just have to eat the chicken and broccoli, and we'll cover that in a minute. We want to learn how to actually make the progress, get where we want to be by summer, develop the habits, develop the discipline, all of those things so that we can get there and it not be like, we're miserable by the time we get there. We're unhealthy by the time we get there, but it's going to be like a thumbs up. It's going to be good. So if this is resonating with any of you guys, leave a comment. Let me know here in the chat. Hi, Jamie. I've done all the yo-yos. Yeah, girl, me too. It's all right. A lot of us have. But like, I mean, is what you've experienced similar to what I'm saying with the yo-yos? Like, do you feel like you kind of come back to that place of like, well, here we go again. Oh, here we go again. Let me know. Okay, so let me know if you are on board with what we're talking about here. So we're going to cover 5 of the 10 things next week. And today is going to be a little bit more focused on nutrition, which is like my jam. Next week, we're going to talk a little bit more about the workout aspect of things. Okay. So number 1, the first thing we're going to talk about is skipping meals. Okay. So we might think that to lose weight, we just should skip meals, right? Like, okay, well, let me just, I'll just eat dinner. Or I'll just eat a little bitty snack and then I'll eat dinner or whatever. How many of us have done this before? Just put a little comment. I want to see it. Jamie, I swear I gained more weight back than I lost every time. Yeah. You know what, Jamie? I actually have, if you'd be interested, it's a metabolism call that I'm happy to share with you that explains why that happens. So if you want it, you can just message the team and then we can get that for you. Kayla, me a lot. Yes. Okay. So if we because it seems to make sense, right? We skip meals, we can lose weight. We'll just do that. Well, a lot of the times our mind likes to default back into what we used to do, what might have worked before. And it's not saying that it didn't work before, but it's also not saying that it was in the best way. And it's also something that you have to think about with these tactics and things that we go back to that, okay, this worked before. Well, you're older now. Your body and your metabolism has already been through what you're trying to put it through again. And if you did things that were unhealthy, if you did maybe a yo-yo diet or whatever, crazy fad, then it leaves footprints on your metabolism. And so your metabolism won't be the same after you do what you've done. Okay. And so your body likely won't respond the same way, if that makes sense. So the metabolism call actually really goes into a lot of that. Let's see. So this is a little bit different than, I'm not really talking about like intermittent fasting. Intermittent fasting, and I get asked this quite a bit, intermittent fasting is a tool and that we do implement sometimes if it's good. It depends on the person. It depends on a lot of stuff, but I'm not really necessarily talking about that. Intermittent fasting can go wrong when it turns into something like this, and then you don't actually eat the right amount of food that you're supposed to be eating. And so intermittent fasting can go both ways. Like I said, it's a tool. You have to know how to use it, and you have to have like the knowledge to be able to implement it correctly, so that it can be something that is helpful for you. It's going to repair so that those metabolism footprints are going to be good, and they're going to be stepping stones to help you. If we skip meals, it can lead to us binging also. You guys know this. That's probably like the first thing you thought of, and you don't need me like explaining that. It happens to me all the time. Or all the time. If I get busy, if I'm this, if I'm that, and I come home and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm starving, I will eat whatever. I have to like plan it out. I have to be disciplined and say no, because I know what's going to happen after that. So get yourself together, Brittany. Like I do, I have to. It can also go the other way, and we can take it too far, and it can actually, lead to us under eating and being a chronic under eater whenever we start with just saying, okay, let's just skip meals, because one skip meal could turn into another skip meal or whatever. And then at the end of it, if we actually looked at what we were eating, this isn't everyone, but honestly, a good majority of the women that we work with aren't eating enough. And I think it's because we may or may not be actually like looking at what we're eating, tracking what we're eating. And you don't necessarily have to. You don't have to track what you're eating in order to lose weight at all. That should be another one actually on here. I should have thought of that. But if we're not really aware of what we should be eating, and then we're not aware of what our body actually needs to thrive and survive alone, then we always think, I need to do less. I need to eat less. I need to eat less. I need to eat less. And who wants to spend their life thinking they need to eat less? Who wants to lay their head on the pillow every single night and think, God, I got to cut it down to 700 calories tomorrow because I'm still not losing weight. And I've been eating around 800 calories for like 3 months now, and nothing's happening. And the weight's just pouring back on. 700 calories it is. Girlfriend, you cannot survive on 700 calories. It is not okay. Like, that is not okay. It is not healthy. It doesn't need to happen. Point blank, it doesn't need to happen. It is dangerous. Those are very bad metabolism footprints that you will be leaving on yourself, and you will be dealing with that for years to come if you do it and if you don't fix it. So we do get a lot of women that are not eating enough. And there's nothing more frustrating than like starving yourself, not eating enough, and then feeling like you now need to drop it more because it's not happening for you, right? Tell me if you've been there, if you feel that way, if you have an experience like that, and let me know. And here's the thing too, at some point when you're, depending on how long you do this for, and you are an under eater, you will begin to not feel hungry. And so you might be eating your 800 calories and you're not even hungry. You're like, that's enough for me. Like, I don't need to eat more. So you'll knock it to the 700. You might be a little bit hungry for a little bit, but guess what? Your body's going to get used to it, just like your metabolism gets used to what you're giving it. It's going to learn to live off of that, and it's not going to let you lose weight. And that's what happens. And that is why the yo-yo diets don't work. That's why, like we talked about just a minute ago, let me see, let me open them. Let me open up these comments. Oh, Kayla, there we go. Problem is, I'm never really hungry. I have to force myself to eat. Yes. Yeah, I'm seeing it now. Yeah, because it's how it works. That's how the body works. And so we have had a lot of women that come in, and that's why I tell them, like, I know, but we got to get that metabolism firing again. We have to I think about it as an ice bath. We have to shock your system. We have to put you in an ice bath or a cold plunge, whatever you want to call it. Like, it's got to get shocked to wake back up. It just has to. You cannot keep cutting and cutting and cutting, because I promise you will never get where you want to be, and you will be miserable. And that's just, we want to thrive. Like, that's not where we want to be. We don't even want to go down there. Right? So here's what I would say. If you're never really hungry and you have to force yourself to eat, but you don't eat enough, then you just need to get a plan. You need to know how much you need to eat, and then you need to eat, and you just have to do it. It's kind of one of those things we have to think with our brain and not with how we feel. And I think that's, like Tracy, you said, I was an under eater till I joined your program. Yeah. I wasn't hungry or thirsty ever. Yeah. Yeah. And Tracy came in, she's not a client anymore, but I sure miss you, cause you were amazing. And she came in, and similar situation. She trusted us, and she's like, go get her. Like, she is just like, you tell her to do something, she did it, but she was in your situation too. And so, told you, not even by choice. Okay. Yeah. And so you just have to, that's when, in my opinion, that's when that coach is really helpful, because you can bounce that feedback off of them. You can know what's going on and know what's happening with your body to be able to honestly say, yeah, I know I'm not hungry, but it's going to come, and here's why. And so she did it, and she did pretty darn amazing. She had some pretty phenomenal results, and hopefully, Tracy, you're still thriving. I think you are, because you're awesome. So yeah, so skipping meals is just not really, it's not good. It leads to a lot of other things. And so, or I could have said, under eating, just under eating in general. Okay, we do have to be in a calorie deficit to lose weight. But you need to be in the right calorie deficit. Maybe we'll do another call on that. If you would like it, and we can go into more detail, I'm happy to do a training on that. Just leave a comment and let me know. And then we can do that. I can bring out the whiteboard and do it all. So there's that. There's number one. I got to get going. It's already 1:30. I talk a lot. Okay. The second thing is giving up gluten. Okay. So here's the deal. There is a massive misconception that gluten-free means that it's healthier. There is a whole lot of gluten-free junk food that will make your waistline expand. Okay. It is exactly the same as something that is not gluten-free in regards to you gaining or losing weight. It is. So there's still gluten-free junk food. There are a lot of people that eat 100% gluten-free that are overweight and that want to lose weight and that can't lose weight. So don't fall for that misconception that just because it's gluten-free, it's healthy. Okay. Now let's take, for instance, some people need to eat gluten-free. I'm one of them. I have Hashimoto's. I need to eat gluten-free. When I eat gluten-free, I feel so much better. I talked about layering last week, layering different things. So, we know that calories are king when you want to get fit, when you want to shed, when you want to lose weight, whatever it is, and when you want to build muscle, calories are just king. But what we want to do in my world, and with what I've experienced, and with my MTHFR, with my Hashimoto's, I have to take my health into consideration. If I only focused on getting shredded and being shredded and staying shredded year round, I would be in really bad shape. My health would be awful. Because I have these things. I have Hashimoto's, I have autoimmune issues. And so I have to take care of my health. I have to layer things. Okay. And a lot of people that do have Hashimoto's and thyroid issues are actually overweight, but you can learn how to layer things on top of each other with a calorie deficit, eating healthy food, being gluten-free if you need to. Being gluten-free it will reduce that inflammation. It will help your achy joints. It will make you not feel yucky and puffy and different things like that. And on our reset program, that's completely gluten-free. We take gluten out because it's focused on coming in and cleaning out your gut and lowering bloat and lowering inflammation. It's the way that I eat, and it's the way that makes me feel my absolute best. Beatrice, the client interview that we did on Tuesday, she said the same thing. And almost everyone that goes through reset says the exact same thing. So giving up gluten is not the thing that is going to make you lose fat. And you don't have to give up gluten in order to lose fat. You don't at all. But that's kind of that layering effort that I care so much about, to give you guys and to give my clients the information to make those decisions and to know. So the reset program, yeah, we just take it out because it is inflammatory, and it is something that if you can take out, okay, great. But maybe some people don't react that way to it. But I don't want you to think that just because you remove it and you eat all sorts of gluten-free treats and snacks, that you're just going to automatically lose weight, because it's not going to be the case. If you're in a calorie deficit, you will. Okay. Was that helpful for anybody? Did that help? The gluten thing? Let me know in the comments here. I see a few more people on. Give me a little something if you're on, so I know who you are before we move on. Okay. Third one is meal prepping. Okay. So who here meal preps? Tracy, do you meal prep? I can't remember. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about why I added it to this list of reasons why meal prepping is not going to make you lose fat. Christy meal preps. Hey, girl. I'm so glad you're here. I love seeing you here. Okay, meal prepping. Yes. Here's the reason why this is on the list. Because once again, just kind of with the same thing as gluten-free stuff, just because you meal prep, it doesn't mean you're going to lose weight. You could be meal prepping the wrong things, right? You could be meal prepping your entire day and you eat nothing but your meal prep. But if it is not within the right calorie ranges for you, if it is not within the adequate, protein ranges and all of those things, then once again, you're like me, you're driving, you get lost, you have to backtrack, you're wasting time. And meal prepping, I mean, you can get it down. You can get it down to a science, to an art, but like it's precious time you spend. So by actually just knowing the plan and what you need to do and that deficit you need to be in and eating the correct amount of foods and layering that up for yourself, then your time is going to be spent giving you so many more results because you're going to meal prep the right things. So if you just think because you meal prep, then we're just going to lose weight, it has to happen. Even if it's just chicken and broccoli, which is my next point. Even if it's just all of the healthy foods, like it's not processed, it's not all of these things. Remember, calories are still king. And so that still makes a big difference. You can still load up and eat nothing but super, super healthy food, all low inflammatory, all gluten-free, all organic, all fresh, all stuff like that. But if it doesn't have the layer of being, of your entire consumption of your day being in a calorie deficit and having the goal and the eyes on fat loss, you won't lose weight. So that's why that chicken and broccoli is in there. Okay. So like, I know that's like a big saying is like, all right, I'll just go eat chicken and broccoli. Or like my client Fallon that was on an interview a couple of weeks ago was saying that that's what she was doing. She was like just eating chicken and broccoli. She was doing hot work. She was doing hot yoga. She was doing all of these things. She was doing CrossFit, eating this chicken and broccoli. She wasn't losing weight. She was not losing weight because there's so many things that go into it. You have to layer it up, right? And so you can literally eat only this and still not lose weight if you're not in a deficit. Okay. So it's likely if you literally only ate chicken and broccoli, like for your whole day, and your entire, like over and over repeated again and again, you're going to see some changes. You are, but it's still not guaranteed because calories are king, right? It's still not like precise and like down to it. And you're not going to be wasting your time because you're just throwing it out there. Okay. Most often that's not really what you need. How many of my girls eat just chicken and broccoli? Anybody? Like, no, you don't. Anybody that's done reset, that's doing reset right now, you do not eat just chicken and broccoli. You do not at all. Okay. So just because you eat healthy foods does not guarantee that you will lose fat. Okay. You have to have your goals correct and you have to have your ducks in order to say, we're going after fat loss. We're going after lowering inflammation. We're going after gut health. We're going after the education of like learning and implementing. That's the layering. That's the burn phase. Okay. The fourth thing, we're almost done. The fourth thing is lemon water. Kind of goes with the gluten-free thing, right? People think a lot of the time that we can just add these little things in because they're healthy things, right? Or I guess I could have put, like green juice. Green juice, I love green juice. It's in reset, right? Like our smoothies and different things like that. But if you just add a smoothie in your day and you're not doing the other things, like, I'm so sorry, but you are not going to be where you want to be just by adding a smoothie in. It takes more than that. Okay. And you know that. Like, it takes more than that. It takes more than just like, okay, lemon water. No, that's not the thing. Like, just that alone, that's not going to do anything for you. Okay. So it does contribute and it has a lot of health benefits, just like the gluten-free thing. It has health benefits, but what we need to do is actually do the things that are going to move the needle for you. It helps to add to your ecosystem. All of us have an ecosystem. I think I talked about this last week. We might do a whole training on that also because it's so important. It's what the basis of everything that we do in our programs is about. that ecosystem is important. So like things like the lemon water or being gluten-free and eating more veggies and stuff like that, like, yes, that adds to that ecosystem, but like all of it adds up, and all of it together is what makes you get to that lifestyle lean place, to where we're done with the diets and we just live this way and we know what we're doing. So that's that's number 4. Let's see. It's so great too, especially with working on the plane. I pack healthy snacks too. Yes, I'm sure that meal prepping for you 100% does it. Christy was a client of ours a little bit ago. You did reset. Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you did reset. So then let's talk about the last one. Carbs after dark. What do you think about that? How do you feel about it right now before we get going on it? I want to ask. Carbs after dark. Have you heard, have you practiced? Do you think, like, what are your thoughts on having carbs after dark for weight loss? I want to see in the chat here. Yeah, you did. I thought so. Love it. Carbs after dark. How do we feel about carbs after dark? I've always been told to avoid carbs too late. Okay. I'm glad you said it. Good. Okay, so let's talk about this. Carbs after dark. Need my carbs. Need my carbs. It's funny. So here's the deal. Carbs after dark. Yeah, that's a big one. If you cut carbs after dark alone, it doesn't mean that you will lose weight. If you cut carbs in general, like you just cut them, basically going keto, will you lose weight? You likely will lose weight. Will you mess up your metabolism footprints for a year from now or 6 months from now? You likely will. I have a whole keto story that I don't have time for right now, but it might be something that I share because like it's a personal story for me. And yeah, it's a whole thing. So I might share that at some point, but I don't suggest just going and cutting your carbs. You need to learn that's where the education portion comes into things. And so cutting carbs after dark isn't necessarily something that you need to do or you have to do. So a carb is a calorie. Okay. And calories stay the same, whether the sun is up or the sun is down. Stays the same. Now, remember, we're talking about layering. We layer things in, just like I talked about intermittent fasting a minute ago. It's a tool. So there are ways to adjust and eat your carbs in your day around certain times of the day, around your workouts, around different things like that, sandwiching things in that can help you 100%. But do I suggest that we go and we put all of our eggs in that basket and we really look at that if we can't even keep with being consistent in the calorie range we should be in? No, there's layering, right? So there's a way to like just have a blanket and learning these things and making them stepping stones and then trying to like go to things that like are like X, Y, and Z when we don't even have A, B, and C covered. And so we need to focus on the A, B, and C. We need to focus on the consistency. We need to focus on the mindset. We need to focus on the implementation. We need to focus on the not negotiating with ourselves all the time. I talked about that in my story today. I'll talk about it a little bit more here in a minute. But there are different strategies that we can do. And that's another whole other training that we can do at some point too, if you'd like, and just let me know. But being strategic is very important, but that's something that is likely later on. It's after, like BZH girls, you know this, we have carb cycling, we do different things like that, but like you don't want to skip all the way to the end if you don't have this here. Because remember, we have the lens of our goal being lifestyle lean. Why don't we learn to lose this weight and be done with it after this and say, okay, I'm done. Like I don't have to worry about losing 30 pounds again, 50 pounds, whatever it is. It's behind me. Now I need to learn to maintain and this lifestyle here so that I don't have to go back to that. You have all the time in the world to learn all those things back there, but it'll never come if you don't lose and learn here. You have to learn, you can't put the cart before the horse. That's a part of this. So don't think that just cutting those carbs after dark is going to do what you want it to do. And maybe it's something that you do or you try to do, and then you get frustrated because you find that you're not making progress, you're not losing the weight. Well, it's because it's an ecosystem and there's a lot more to it. You're probably working on X, Y, and Z. You don't have A, B, and C done. A, B, and C are the foundation. And so this is up here. It's just like, it's like a pyramid. It's just like a little thing that's going to move the needle. This is the big thing that's going to move the needle. Okay. So that was our 5. There was something else I was going to come back around to. It was the talking about not negotiating with ourselves. So this is like an aha moment. I always like to share like kind of where I'm at, what I'm doing, working on like personally, and invite y'all to do it with me. Like that's all this is. That's what this is. It's just like, I'm doing it. I'm here. I'm up and down sometimes, I'm not perfect, but I want to invite you to come in and just change your life with me, kind of a thing. And so this is the mantra that I'm currently telling myself, and it's going to become a staple for me. It's stop negotiating. And that's it. I just told myself, stop negotiating. Okay. And here's what I mean by that. If I say I'm going to lose 30 pounds and I'm going to get in shape and I'm going to feel bomb and I'm going to feel amazing and I'm going to stop dieting and doing it the wrong way and I'm going to take care of myself and my long-term health and future, and I'm going to make healthy habits so that I can pass them to my kids. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do these things. And then I sign up for the program. Let's say I sign up for the program. Done, signed, sealed, delivered, done. Well, I made a move, right? Yeah, you did. You made a move, which is fantastic. That's absolutely phenomenal. Way to go. But then after that, I'm like dragging my feet. I'm like going, okay, I know that I need, like, I'm supposed to eat, I don't know. What's a recipe of ours? Does anybody have like, what's a favorite recipe? Throw it out. I'm going to put it in the example while I get a drink here. What's the favorite recipe, clients, that you have had? Fix my head. Let's hear it. What is it, girls? I know you have them. Let's say, I know mine. Mine's going to be the chicken salad. So let's say that I'm supposed to prep the chicken salad because I'm eating it for dinner, and then it's for lunch tomorrow because we don't waste food. Put it together, make it easy, simple. But like, I'm constantly being like, oh no, I need to do it, but I'm going to put it like, I'm going to go do this. I'm going to go do this. I'm going to go do this. There's an example. Or maybe like you say, I need to wake up at 6 a.m. so that I can get these things together so we can get out of school on time, go on time so that I can get to the gym on time or come back home and get my workout in on time so that I can get ready for work, so I can do all the things so my day goes. Well, I don't do that. I'm constantly negotiating with myself. When my alarm goes off, I'm like, oh, do I really want to wake up? No, I really don't. I'm so tired right now. I think I'm not going to wake up right now. I'm negotiating with myself. Stop doing it, right? That's our mantra. Stop negotiating. The decision has already been made, right? You have decided you're losing your weight this spring. It's done, signed, sealed, delivered. Now you need to figure out how you're going to do it. What's the way you're going to do it? Who are you investing in? What are you investing in? I say investing because it's coming back to you, right? You're worth that. It's coming back to you. All of that. So like, stop negotiating all of the things that you really want. If you know, Brittany, you need to wake up at this time so you can get this done, so you can have your quiet time, so you can blah, blah, blah. Stop negotiating it and just go do it. The decision has already been made. I've made the decision. I'm doing it. Go for the run. Go do it. That's the thing, is stop negotiating. Okay. So this was part 1. I'm so happy you were here. Let's see. Let me check the comments here. Oh, the vegetable soup, the sheet pan. Oh, good. The sheet pan recipe is good. I like that. Veggie, yes, the veggie soup is good. So this week we're going to stop negotiating. We're going to think about all of these things we talked about. Come back in, girls, for next week for part 2. We're going to wrap this up, and then we are going to have such a better head on our shoulders for not negotiating these things. Okay. Thank you so much for being here. I love your feedback. I love your shares. I love all of it. I hope to see you soon and have the best day ever. Bye, girls.